Welcome to the Real Estate Way to Wealth and Freedom podcast with Jacob Ayers, providing actionable content to help you along your journey to financial freedom through real estate investing. As the premier asset class, real estate has helped ordinary people just like you amass fortunes. The benefits of passive income from real estate investing will allow you to live a life you want. And now, your host, entrepreneur, real estate investor, and apartment deal syndicator, Jacob Ayers.
Hi, and welcome to the Real Estate Way to Wealth and Freedom podcast, episode 185. Hi, I'm your host, Jacob Ayers. Thanks so much for tuning in to this week's episode. Hey, I'm so glad you're here. It's another Friday, and that means we have Friday fundamentals. Well, this week, Friday fundamental is health, wealth, and happiness. You see, life is a balance of many things, from work and rest to learning and applying, patience and action, progressing and relaxing, earning and spending, silence and communication, and so much more. With so many things, it can be hard to know where to focus at times. You might feel that in order to do one thing, you have to let other things fall to the wayside. And oftentimes, this is the case. You simply can't do everything at all times. If you're one of those people who think they can, I bet you feel stressed with the constant pressure to do everything. I know the feeling because I've been there. Now, if you only have 2 or 3 things you try to balance, that's probably manageable. But as soon as you start adding things, you look like that new busboy at the restaurant who might as well be wearing skis trying to balance trays full of plates and dishes from that 10-person dinner party. It's just a matter of time before you drop one thing trying to balance everything else. This dilemma is true for most people these days. People are busy. They have many things going on, from work to, for some, side hustles, to family and soccer practices, paying bills, exercise, vacations, holidays, and dare forbid the occasional time to relax and unwind. Everyone has their own struggles. But what if you could simplify your life without having to quit the things you want? That's exactly what we're going to do today. So let's dig into how we can do that. Every functioning bar stool has a minimum of 3 legs. 2 legs, and well, you're on stilts. The same applies with areas you can focus. For me, I've broken these areas of my life into 3 quote-unquote buckets: health, wealth, and happiness, and not necessarily in that order. You might also like the 3 same buckets, or you can change it up to say health, happiness, and travel, or wealth, family, and charity. Whatever those buckets are, identify them and begin to put everything you do into those 3 buckets. Let's look at the 3 buckets: health, wealth, and happiness. It's hard to order the importance of these buckets because sometimes you can't have one without the other. So let's start with health. Health seems pretty obvious to us all. Without it, not much else matters. When put like that, it's amazing that health is not at the top of our minds every single day when we wake up. We can even take our health for granted until we no longer have it. But we don't always prioritize it accordingly. We can be so busy in the day-to-day hustle of life that we allow our health to diminish over time until it becomes a problem and everything else comes to a screeching halt. If instead you make your health a priority every day by doing little things, you can spend the rest of your time filling other buckets in your life. You don't have to wake up tomorrow and run a fasted marathon. eat bean sprouts and kale for lunch, and half of a smoothie for dinner. For the average person, simply exercising a few times a week, eating just moderately healthy, and monitoring your health is enough. If you can do this one thing, it allows time for the other buckets in your life, like happiness. Happiness is one of those underlying things we all want, but never really articulate it. We instead talk about things that will make us happy, like family, travel, giving back, etc. Happiness is the root of all of these things that we desire, and it's different for everyone too. If you're not living a life that makes you happy, then what's the point? Seriously, you only have one life. Why would you live it any other way? I'm not talking about being happy someday, or when you reach a certain milestone, or during your retirement years. I'm talking about being happy today, tomorrow, next week, and the rest of your life. Anything less is just a waste. Wealth. Wealth can be a taboo topic, but not here on the Real Estate Way to Wealth and Freedom podcast. In fact, wealth can be the lifeblood for you to do good things. Live a life you want. Allow you to be your true self and do good in the world. Without it, you could find yourself at the mercy of others, doing things you wouldn't necessarily do if you had that wealth. Wealth isn't something you should shy away from because it's evil and bad. Now, if building wealth isn't in your top 3 buckets, I get that. There's no right or wrong way to live your life. If you can figure out how to fill your 3 buckets without wealth, then in my opinion, you've just shortcutted the entire process. Just remember, life is a balance. Do too little, and you leave untapped potential out there. Do too much, and you become ineffective at everything. Find that balance that works for you. Prioritize the things that are important in your life and focus on those. Nothing else matters. You can do anything you want in this life. You just have to decide what that is. So go build the lifestyle you want today. Well, hey, that wraps up this week's episode of Friday Fundamentals. Hey, I hope you're getting value from this show. If you like what you heard, please go over and leave a rating and review on whichever platform you're listening on. It would mean so much to the show. And if you'd love to reach out to me, connect with me for any reason, you can do so at www.jacobayers.com. Till next week, engineer the lifestyle you want.
You've been listening to the Real Estate Way to Wealth and Freedom podcast, providing you actionable content to build your real estate empire. Nothing on this show should be considered specific, personal, or professional advice. Please consult an appropriate tax, legal, real estate, financial, or business professional for personal advice. The opinions of guests are their own. Information is not guaranteed. All investment strategies have a potential for profit or loss. The host is operating on behalf of the Real Estate Way to Wealth and Freedom, LLC, exclusively.